Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing some of these screwdrivers here in front of me. What we have here is the megapro, the picquic, Ideal from Ideal Industries, greenlee, and Klein tools. The reason I've chosen these ones are the premium of the line. Whether you go with any of these screwdrivers here, you are not going to be disappointed. All of these 5 are some of the very, very best out on the market. I have used each and every one of these screwdrivers for at least a year, with the exception of the megapro, which I've used for roughly about 6 to 7 months now. And I think I've had enough experience in using each and every one of these to give you an accurate assessment of which one I like very, very best. Stay tuned, and we're going to get right into it, and I'm going to break these down one by one so we know which one's the very best, which one reigns supreme out of every single multi-bit screwdriver out on the market. Which one of these screwdrivers comes out on top? So you have all 5 of these. Like I said, each one of these is a very premium screwdriver, which is why I excluded some brands such as Milwaukee or DeWalt. Not that those are bad or anything, but they're kind of more of like the mid-range of for a multi-bit screwdriver. Each one of these is a quality, top-of-the-line screwdriver. So we're going to get right into it. Megapro. Megapro being your first one in the line of the screwdrivers, offers a different style of a multi-bit screwdriver. Klein makes one very similar to this, as does a lot of other brands. Milwaukee makes one very, very similar. But this one is the very, very best out of this style of it. I actually have a Klein one like this that I've used before, and I don't like it at all. It actually kind of annoys me because it's real, real fat and bulky, the handle is. But the megapro is a little bit sleeker on that side because of this hard plastic. It doesn't have that rubber coating like the Klein does, so it doesn't have that real thick one like the Klein one has. They call the classic Klein. The megapro, so it has a lot of great features, such as the cowboy collar, where you're able to sit down and use this little cowboy collar right here to kind of spin and tighten down your screwdrivers. To be honest with you, though, when I purchased this screwdriver, this cowboy collar was a lot stiffer than I would have anticipated it being. I actually kind of put some WD-40 down in there to kind of loosen this thing up, but it kind of always seems to like have some sort of resistance on it, so I didn't really care for that. It felt very plasticky to me. Other than that, though, the back of the palm saver cap right here, this palm saver cap is actually great. It's phenomenal. It's feels real good on your hand, and when you're wanting to take it and you use it kind of like this, where you spin in your hand, we end up doing that quite a bit. Or when you're taking something out, you end up doing that quite a bit. It does work well for that. The hiccups I have to the megapro, though, are that when this thing gets slightly greasy, you slip all over it. It starts to slide and feel slippery in your hands, and it's just rather annoying. The megapro screwdriver has a lot of great features, though. Being that it offers a different style of a multi-bit screwdriver than their typical 10-in-1 screwdriver, 11-in-1, or whatever you want to call it. You pop this guy open so you can see all your bits. You spin around to the bit you want to select, choose your bit, or pull your old bit out here, put that bit, replace it, close it up, put your new bit in there. Now you're ready to rock and roll. Boom, 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 boom. I can do a bunch of different things all day long with my megapro. It's a great screwdriver. I can't really say too much bad about it, because it is a great screwdriver. The hiccup being is, you saw how long that just took me to replace these bits, to change these bits out to this bit. It's a hassle, especially when you got to go from flathead to Phillips real fast. You put a screw in, and then you got to switch out to a flathead to take a screw out or something like that, and you're having to flip-flop back and forth. It starts to become annoying. That's the only way you can put it. It's annoying if you have to flip a lot of different screwdrivers real fast. You're better off with something a little bit quicker. Which brings me to my next take. If you want something quicker, you're going to look for something like one of these 10-in-1s, because comparatively, switching from this one to that one, it's a lot faster. You can see how fast that was, and you can boom, switch out there, switch these bits all around to whatever one you want to switch it out to. But these are a lot. So now that we're looking at our typical 10-in-1s, you have your Klein, your greenlee, and Ideal. Which one of these ones are the very best out on the market? Because each one, like I said, they're all phenomenal. They're all great screwdrivers, but each one of these has their very own benefits. Klein's being a little bit shorter. I keep on finding myself reaching for a longer shank screwdriver when I'm using this Klein screwdriver. It just simply, when I'm reaching for it, I find myself just needing a little extra room. The greenlee is great. Out of all three of these ones, I would say this one's actually my favorite. It's a little bit longer than the Klein tool one, but it's not as heavy as this Ideal one. I wanted to love this Ideal screwdriver so much. I really did. This was a USA made screwdriver by Ideal Industries, but straight out of the package, it gave me the wrong impression. When I got this thing out of the package, all these bits were really, really hard to get out. This thing actually got stuck in there a couple times. I actually had to get my screwdriver and Klein's and kind of pry it out. All these bits are super tight, and they haven't loosened up over time. They haven't loosened up by spraying them with WD-40. It's almost like it felt like it was rusted straight out of the factory, but it's not. See, I can't even get that out right now. That's ridiculous. Not only that, when you go to pull this bit out, if I'm using my handle on here, and I go to pull this bit out, I just pull my whole shank out. I'm pulling my whole shank out every time. I'm trying to pull this bit out, pull the whole shank out. Not to mention, this thing is heavy. It's heavier than the Klein or the greenlee one. The Ideal one, I just don't like it. The handle, when I got it from the factory, it slid back and forth, up and down on here. Yes, this handle right here. See? It's actually still doing it. Yep, still doing it. That's garbage. That should not happen like that. I wanted to like it. I wanted it to be like, oh, it's USA made. It's awesome. But it's not. And it's heavy. It's cumbersome. It's a 12-in-1, but it's very, very cumbersome. It's just not that great. They do offer a little bit more for different sizes on your nut drivers, but it's a very, very heavy screwdriver. And to me, it's junk. It's just the handle slides back and forth. The bits get stuck. You try to pull them out when you pull out your whole shank instead. I would say don't buy this one. Out of all these screwdrivers, this one's my least favorite. Klein is kind of your go-to. Out of these ones, these are your go-to. That's the one you see everywhere, everybody uses. But if you end up running into the greenlee one, I would highly suggest buying this one. I had this one for about 4 years. I've used this one for about 4 years. Not only do I like it, it also offers these longer shank bits in it, which are kind of nice because you feel like you get a little more like leverage off it, I guess you'd say, when you're using that. And you can slide it into the little tight spaces a little bit better than sometimes these little nut drivers get caught on things, or just you can't fit it into like a panel groove or whatnot. It's kind of annoying. So what do I like about the greenlee screwdriver? The greenlee screwdriver, out of all the 10-in-1 styles, you're able to flip them up and change all your bits real fast. Any bit that you need, from Robertson to Phillips head to flathead, any one of them are able to switch out real fast. The bits in here are solid. They've had this screwdriver for roughly 4 years. That's not even an exaggeration. This is one of the very, very first 10-in-1s I bought. I normally stuck with like the Klein style like this one of like the megapro, but after finding one of these ones and seeing that the nut drivers were on it, I was kind of interested in using them, and I kind of used one of these ones for the longest time. every day. This is a daily one, you know, whether it's Klein or greenlee. And last but not least on our list of multi-bit screwdrivers is the picquic. The picquic is a Canadian-made multi-bit screwdriver, and it's kind of one of the originators of the multi-bit screwdriver. The way this one works is you got all your bits stored here in the back, and what you do is you just take out your bit here, slide in your new bit right through, select your new bit, put it in. It's a little bit slower than your typical 10-in-1s that we have right here, like your Klein, your Ideal, and greenlee one. But the good thing about that is you're not going to take your bit and stick it in your pocket and forget that you had it there, because in order to get your new bit out that you're trying to use, you got to put your old one in there to get it out. So that's kind of a nice feature that the picquic offers. The picquic also has the handle that I feel kind of has like this old school feel. It has these grooves in there. It's nice when you're turning. But my favorite thing about the picquic is it has this very malleable plastic. It feels really, really good in your hand. That and all their bits are impact ready. So when you walk in down the hallway and you go walk into the electrical room, for me instance of being an electrician, and I find out that I'm getting ready to use my Phillips head impact on my drill to take off the panel cover, and then I realize, oh darn, all these are flatheads. So what I do then is I just pop out my flathead out of my picquic here, put it in my impact, and zip zip zip, now my panel's off in a lot faster time. They are actually all impact ready. Picquic says that they are impact ready, and the bits are really great. If you look right here, you can kind of, they got this, these all got nice finishes to them. A little dirty right there, but they're all really, really nice. I think they're said they're made in Taiwan. The picquic itself is made in Canada, but their bits are made in Taiwan. But they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal bits. I've used these impacts on panels. When I say that, I wasn't just joking, but you can see it's not even bent. It's not even slightly warped. No real signs of wear and tear. And I've been using this dang thing for a year. And I mean, I've been putting it through the ringer. I beat on the back end of it. The only thing I'll say is that when you start beating on the back end of it, you do jar these bits loose a little sometimes. But it's not just a minor thing of sliding them back in there and getting them tight. Another benefit that the picquic has over these guys right here is that this bit end, it's magnetic. So when I'm going to pick up screwdrivers out of my jug or whatever, I just dip my end into the screwdrivers, pull them up, or screws, pull them up, and got the screws in my hand, take them off, and I'm ready to rock and roll and do whatever I want to do. That's a really nice feature to have. Or if you're trying to reach a screw and get it in the back of a box somewhere, especially being an electrician, ground screws for me particularly are a pain, because sometimes you put them on the end of your screwdriver trying to get your hand in there in the back of the box to screw them in at the same time. With a picquic, I just literally slide the ground screw on there, put it and reach in the back of the box and tighten it up. I am a commercial electrician. I've used every single one of these screwdrivers for a very, very long time. But this one seems to be my absolute favorite. I keep finding myself going back to it. This is the 6-pack plus. It does offer a 1/4-inch bit right here. They make a brand, I think it's their Super 8 brand, that has a 5/16 and a 1/4-inch in here too. So all these people saying, well, it doesn't have my nut drivers in there. Shut up. They got you covered. Go get their Super 8. It's a phenomenal one. It's got the 5/16 and the 1/4-inch in there. And if you need anything more than that, man, carry a multi nut driver around. Carry some nut drivers around. You got to get off the ladder. Sorry, you shouldn't be carrying your whole backpack with you anyways. But yeah, no, it's a phenomenal screwdriver. If you really are looking for a great 10-in-1 replacement, especially these going from these ones to this one, I found it to be a lot better. I don't get these things caught on different things. I can reach up inside the panel better. The plastic feels good in my hand. It feels great when I'm turning and working on different things. The great thing about this is I dropped it off a ladder. The bits don't go fling all over the place like these ones do. When these ones fall off a ladder, you're searching for bits for 5 minutes. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to ask me, out of every single multi-bit screwdriver out here on the market, who reigns supreme, who's king, who takes the cake, I give it to our neighbors up north. The Canadian-made Picquic is the very, very best multi-screwdriver out on the market. Yeah, use them all. If you don't believe me, I've gone through it. I literally have put years in each one of these screwdrivers, with the exception of the megapro that I've only had for about 6 to 8 months. But I have used every single one of these screwdrivers. The problem with these ones is you lose the bits, and then you have a very, very hard time finding replacement bits, or that the tips in here, they get caught up on things. The nut drivers just get caught up on things. They start rusting out after a while, and it makes it harder for these shafts to come in or come out. Yeah, if you're going to ask me who is the very, very best multi-bit screwdriver out on the market, go with Picquic. Picquic is a phenomenal one. They're a little hard to find here in the United States, but you can order them off of Amazon. I was actually recommended Picquic through a electrician who was 30 years in the field. I kind of was asking him why he was using this old school looking screwdriver, but after using it, I fully understand now. I suggest you go out there and find yourself a Picquic. And after you're done, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you.